You know, like I said, they've been sitting on that armchair. You know, I could do that. As they're eating their third piece of chicken, those guys ain't nothing.
Because they weren't going to vote him out. He was way too fucking popular. Yeah. You know, he had
the legions behind him.
He had the legions behind him.
Honestly, I thought it was going to get a lot worse.
I mean, it's definitely still boiling.
It's
boiling.
Still
in the process. Hey there, Midnighters and Moonlighters. This is your closer-in-chief with the check-in. Tonight's episode is gluten-free, soy-free, tree nut-free, emotionally distant, and completely unapologetic. My recommendation is to salt to taste. And hey, if you've ever seriously considered starting an underground fight club at your workplace just to alleviate tension and really get everybody back in line, hit those like and subscribe buttons. This one's for you. Welcome to Nightwatch, everybody. This is your closer-in-chief here with the other fellow members of the Nightwatch crew. Big Smoke, Jolly Green. How you boys doing today?
We are doing good.
Aloha. I am very tired.
I think tired is the word of the day today, man. And it's just going to be a long, long day. We had to close last night. We weren't supposed to close last night.
Nope.
We had to pick up
two
extra hours.
2 extra days. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been going at it strong for a week now?
Yeah, a week. I was so bad I forgot what day it was. I thought it was already Wednesday. I'm like, it's already Wednesday. No, man, it's Tuesday. Damn. I need another Red Bull.
Because somebody didn't want to pick up another shift.
Oh. Yeah.
Look at you, Jolly.
Because of love, yeah. Pick up
I only have 2 days off this week.
You cannot say that kind of crap in this forum. You can't.
Especially not to us.
Yeah, you look at the two guys, you can't say, well, I have, only 2 days. Man, I looked you right in the eye.
I think you tried to auction it off to me. You're like, going once, going twice.
Yeah. I was like,
so I want you to really consider it and think about this. We're standing here in front of the boss man who's offering up a shift.
And he shook his head quick too, like, no, I don't want it.
See, I was really confused because I thought I closed like from 5 or whatever, 7 to close. I didn't know 2 days this week I worked 9 to close. I didn't know that. And then yesterday, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, I only worked 9 to whatever 2 days.
6 hours total.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. Which,
yeah.
Hindsight, I could have picked it up, but then still.
Well, and right now, man, overtime is up for the picking, man.
Yes,
I didn't think we got overtime.
You can if you work overtime, you get paid overtime.
So, like, what do you mean overtime? Like,
if you hit over 40 hours,
okay.
Over 40.
That's for our state. That's the thing. Which apparently, I guess in some states, it's if you work more than 8 hours in a day, it starts counting as overtime. Yeah. I didn't know that. It's like that in Colorado.
It's in Colorado, but it's in Colorado. Nevada's like that. California's like that. I think. No, wait a minute. California, I think they changed it to a 40-hour work week. But
as I say, out here it was always just if you work more than 40 hours, that 41st hour was time and a half, And then out in Colorado, it's that if it's more than 8 hours, and now I understand why everything out there closes at 9 p.m. because they got 2 shifts. That's it, and nobody works more than 8 hours in a day.
That's why I got confused, and I was like, "We get overtime." Remember?
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't think we got overtime.
Like 3 minutes ago when you said it the first time?
Yeah.
Before you got here, man, I was working 50, 55 hours. There was nobody would work. Nobody would work.
If anybody called off a shift, I
was calling in. Yeah. Hey, I'll take it.
And one of them many things we don't get at the job, I thought that was one of them. I didn't think we got overtime.
So we're not supposed to, because obviously that costs the company more to pay us that overtime for the same amount of hours, as far as the company's concerned, right? So the company needs all the shifts covered. If it's paying out overtime for some of it, that counts as extra labor, excessive labor. And so that drives those variance numbers up. And obviously we want to avoid that as much as possible. And so for the longest time, we weren't allowed to schedule, definitely still not allowed to schedule overtime, but upper management would start getting in trouble for allowing that to happen or to occur. But the shift's got to get run, so if there's no other option.
The one night, our young scholar, he was like, take a 30-minute break. Mm-hmm. I'm like, take a 30-minute break? He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, give me more than that. If I'm getting a fucking break, I'm going home for a little bit. You know what I mean? And he's like, no. Which, I should have said no, but everyone goes to me first because I'm easygoing.
Well, I mean, and it's kind of one of those things of, how much of a team player are you? It's like, I wouldn't want to ever take a 30-minute break, but I will if I have to because...
You about to ask me if I would take
Big Smoke, would you? Yeah.
Well, depending on how many days of the week I work. If I'm working 30 hours a week, my 30-minute break is going to mean a lot more to me. But if I'm working consistently throughout the week, I'll take a 30-minute break. But I'm more apt to take a day for someone who isn't coming to work. That's my big incentive.
Yeah.
Okay. And what really got ground my gears on that one is when, little boss was like, here, you can take this Monday, but I'm going to take your Friday away. What? No.
We were just talking about this last night.
Yeah. Not my Friday. I mean,
that's money making.
Yeah, that's the money making days. You don't want a Friday or Saturday. You're really going to get on Big Smoke's nerves.
Yeah, like for me, it's which day I work, no matter what, I'm getting paid consistently the same. But for you guys, like that, whenever it comes to getting the tips and getting the deliveries and everything, what days you work, it really is. Are you hitting those prime time hours, that Friday dinner rush, the Saturday dinner rush, or
I don't mind.
Monday afternoon?
Exactly. I don't mind skipping a Monday or Tuesday. Those are the graveyard days. Nothing happens except it's for a special holiday.
I'll tell you what, digital tips have been doing real good. I know the last 2 days it's been like, but there for a while
Well, that's because we got absorbed up into DoorDash, and so now...
Yeah, we've been dating them DoorDash tips. Well, but my big cash days, my days are like crazy cash.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cash heavy. I am cash heavy. I'm getting $10, $15 tips. And I'm like, and I feel guilty. I'm like, sure? I didn't earn this. I mean, $7 maybe, but not 15. I'll be trying to get money back. No. I'm like, and then I feel like I'm the loan shark beating the old lady in the alley because I'm taking so much money.
Hey, you know what? Just means the signs of economic prosperity.
Yeah, somebody's making it. Yeah, so I walk out not wanting to tell people how much I made, especially when I hear them complaining. Yeah, man, this day sucked. I'm like, yeah,
for you, baby.
Yeah, it sucked. Yeah.
Big Smoke. Yeah, man, this day sucked.
Solidarity, brother. I got you. Nah. I mean, I don't see what all you guys make, but like when I'm cashing y'all out at the end of the night, I see at least what the tips and mileage comes out to on the credit cards and stuff. It's like, God, I miss being a driver sometimes.
Yeah.
What is that? I think I gotta have at least one more year with my license back in order to qualify to drive again for the company. So,
will you?
No, they really do need you inside, dude.
No, but I could pull like Baby Jesus was and just
cut in every now and again.
Yeah, I could if we got enough insiders to cover, I could dip out and run a delivery or two like what Boss Man does.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, honestly, that's a big help whenever it's like, all right, I've got 3 too many deliveries on the screen right now. I just need somebody to take the one that's running in the opposite direction
of everybody else. Yeah,
and I'm not going to call in a driver to run one delivery. I can just run that one delivery real quick. But also, since I'm not scheduled super close to the full time to make sure that I don't hit that overtime, I could pick up a few hours here and there, and get a little extra cash and. Yeah, that's
honestly, I get a kick. I mean, we got new hires now, and they're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and everything. And then even some of the veterans, some of the veterans are like, "Hey, man, I'm down to 24 hours a week." And I'm like, "Well, you're not hustling.
Yeah,
you're not hustling." I mean, look, right now, I was looking right at the phone right now. Someone saying they can't work tomorrow. You should have been all over that. You should, but no, you're better off complaining. Nah.
Yeah. The new guys coming. I can just think of that Django Unchained meme where it's like they're gonna work you to your back, It's broke.
I mean, look, and that new guy, he's hustling.
Yeah, he's. Did I hear correctly that he's also boxing?
Yeah, he's doing boxing. He's doing amateur stuff.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Have I met him yet?
No.
Well, did he work yet?
Third day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yesterday was his third day, so like he's had his 2 training shifts.
He's a boxer, and I'm sitting there. Okay, and we were all talking about the boxing. He's like, "Yeah, man, Southpaw." Oh shit, yeah, Southpaw. We were talking a good game about it, and
yeah, sweet. Did you see the Canelo and Crawford fight?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You don't have Netflix right now.
And I worked.
Well, yeah, but you can always just.
Well, it's Netflix, man.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah.
I watched it the day after too. So I mean, but yeah, it's because I hadn't seen like a big fight since what was it, Pacquiao Mayweather.
Yeah,
and so this fight much more satisfying for sure. I mean,
really?
Yeah, because the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, man, that was rough to watch. That was a hug fest, man. I was disappointed. You know, I was saying for like a big title match like that was going to be like, you know, some Rocky type shit, man, where they're just throwing haymakers and just going for the fence.
Pacquiao will do that, but Mayweather will not.
Right, Mayweather's. I mean, Christ, wasn't Mayweather retired and came out of retirement to do a couple more fights?
Yeah, he really doesn't want to ruin that 50-0 fighting streak. Which is questionable at best.
Only boxing match that I paid and watched was the one with McGregor and
Mayweather.
And Mayweather. Yeah, that was.
I didn't bother. I knew how that was going to end.
Yeah,
I don't like exhibitions. I don't like exhibitions because they're not real. They're fugazi. They're the WWE of boxing.
Yeah.
Exhibitions.
Well, speaking of exhibitions, the big one. Logan Paul and
I was just about to say so. Yeah, I was like, "That's my favorite boxer."
Tyson, man. I didn't see it, but I've heard roughly what happened.
Was that Fugazi?
It was Fugazi. It was Fugazi.
Well, I've heard rumors of Tyson coming out saying that he paid me like an extra $1 million to just
not to kill him.
Yeah, not to let him win, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so
no doubt.
Yeah, so I mean, smart move on Tyson's part. I mean, fuck, pay me $1 million extra, man. Fuck.
I mean, both of them made excess of $30 million.
Yeah, each.
Yeah, I mean, just to see them circle each other for 10 rounds. It was 8 rounds. I think it was 10 rounds.
Hey, there's a what are they called? Creator clash, where YouTubers are boxing each other. Man,
I seen 1 or 2 of those, and those are funny because seeing 2 grown men with absolutely no fighting skills at all swinging at each other, getting gassed out in 45 seconds, absolutely hilarious. And then you see the real grit is when they got to go in on round 2, and they're both tired as shit, and they got to fight. I laughed myself right out of my chair.
Tell you what, those unsubscribed guys, the unsubscribed podcast guys, they've been going at it. Brandon Herrera's got real good shape. Cody's got in real good shape, and Eli, he was already in pretty excellent form and was doing a bunch of shit. And he's been like training the other guys, and it's impressive to see. They're doing some fitness challenge thing right now, and seeing the progress those guys are making. Like they're getting even more jacked. It's like that's some inspiring type shit, man. Make me want to fucking work out right now.
Another thing I like watching is the Navy SEALs and the UDT guys fight MMA guys.
Yeah,
MMA guys are destroying them. Straight up destroying them. I mean, it's a different fighting style. I mean, they fight to kill you. They don't fight to like wear you out.
Right. And they're not doing it for sport. They're doing it for survival.
And they're taking gut punches, and they're like, oh, crap, that hurts, you know. and they're not used to just guys just straight up walking them down. They're used to being the guys who are, you know, initiating the fear in their opponent. These dudes are like, I ain't scared of you. Come here. Come here. Take this fist. Whack it. Oh, what that hurts. Don't hit me there. Whack it. Oh, don't hit me there either. You know, it's like
I need to check a thing. There was a show back in the day. I don't even remember what channel it was on. Give me a second.
Tough Man. Any of you ever gone to that? Watch that stuff?
They got Tough Man contests out in PA, and we had a guy who used to work at the shop. He went to the beginner tough man session, and he won. Yeah, I mean, he was legit, and he was training for a couple of months. Went out there and beat the crap out. I mean, some of his fights were quick. Like first round, 50 seconds, he was beating the crap out of dudes.
There's some of the people I watch the clips or whatever, and some of the people you see get in there. It's like, why are you getting in there? You have no. That's like me getting in there expecting to do something.
Guys like you do go in there.
I know,
and they're tearing people's heads off because they see all that fat and they be like, "Oh man, he ain't gonna be able." Dude's got some, sinks in those fists and knocking people out.
Built like Fisk, Yeah.
There was this one guy in early MMA in UFC, Big Country. His name was Big Country. Dude looked like he just drank beers for his workout. And was just knocking people senseless. Because he had hammers in his fists. He was just...
the show I was thinking of, Fight Quest.
Never heard of it.
Back in 2008 on Discovery Channel. It was two MMA fighters. They would travel around and they would study up different martial arts like at their dojos and shit.
Oh.
And they were learning how to... They would get like a week or 2 weeks to train with these guys and learn some of the moves and stuff, and then they would like fight against the people that they were learning from. It says each episode the host would spend 5 days in a different country training intensively with local masters of a specific martial art. At the end of the 5 days, they would test their skills in a final demonstration or fight. But yeah, I mean, they did Jeet Kune Do in Los Angeles, Filipino Cali in the Philippines, Muay Thai in Thailand, Kyokushin Karate in Japan, and Krav Maga in Israel. Were some like the big episode ones, and it was a really dope show. If they got it streaming anywhere, I highly recommend checking it out because it was a lot of fun to watch, and it was really cool learning about some of the history stuff because they went in depth of like learning the history of the style and shit like that, and then just getting that like professional breakdown from professional MMA fighters. Like the one guy was a striker, one guy was a grappler, and yeah, they get philosophical with it, which I always love a good philosophical warrior type. It's
Warrior poet.
Yes.
Now I've never seen that show, but I've definitely seen shows like it, like guys who do a beginning of BJJ, workouts with people, and these guys are always north of 200 pounds, and they're going up against a guy that's 165 and just getting handled, and they don't understand how I'm so much bigger than this guy, and he's wrapping me up like a bow and string. These guys, that's what they do. It's not about punching and stuff like that. It's about getting you on the ground and just tying you in knots.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you got all like the pressure points and
joint locks. There was this one guy. He was a bodybuilder. I mean, he could bench. He was 300 pounds and he could bench 410. He was massive. He couldn't even put his arms down to his sides. His wingspan was incredible. He got on the mat and he just couldn't handle the guy. The guy would grab one elbow and just wrap his head around the elbow and just grab his neck and just choke. And next thing you know, big guy's he's sleeping. It's like and he wakes up all of a sudden like, what happened? You were knocked out. No, I wasn't. Did you see me doing this in front of your face? You were out. I love that stuff. And I especially love the amateurs who go into these boxing rings or go into these MMA training centers and want to just pick a fight. Like I said, they've been sitting on that armchair and they're like, I could do that. As they're eating their third piece of chicken. I could do that. Those guys ain't nothing. Get in there and just get wore out. I mean, just get completely wore out. I never get in the ring with those guys. Never.
I wouldn't get in the ring with anybody.
Why not?
I'm scared.
Yeah, that's how you overcome that fear. It's what bravery is, man. It's not doing something because you're not afraid. You do it because you're afraid, or in spite of being afraid.
Look, here's my rationale. It's not that I'm afraid. It's that I trained off and on all my life to maximize myself against bullies, against the 2-on-1, the 3-on-1 fights. I don't want to go up against someone who's actually trained to beat my ass. I don't want to go up against that guy because that's his profession. That's where he lives and sleeps and breathes. Yeah. I don't want to go up against a guy like that. I mean, I train the way I do to basically to beat up the idiot who wants to pick a fight at the Speedway or, or the 7-Eleven, or like we get into like a minor road rage, like I'm not going to pick the fight, but if you swing on me, I'm going to handle you, especially if I know you can't fight, because you can look at some people and tell they can't fight.
Yeah, they can.
They can't fight. The ones who like bark, 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 bark. Okay, you're a Chihuahua. I'm going to kick you.
I was telling you the other day, I said the best hope I got is just to get you on the ground, put every bit of 380 on you, and then just keep you pinned and just do something to get knocked out.
And just hear him go, I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Oh, yeah, when they lose the air, I can't breathe.
I can't breathe. I'll tap you in the back. Hey, I can't breathe. I give up.
I've never really been in that position because I'm not a big guy, like not like you guys are. I don't have that mass necessarily behind me, but I'm 6'2", and I can move my weight around. So it's like I never got like stuck in that position. But then again, I've never really been much of a fighter either. Like I've been taught a few like. Mm-hmm. A few things to use in like emergency scenarios, more of a, all right, if you got to put that guy fucking down, this is what you need to do, or just enough to hurt him enough to get away, Realistically, the only couple of times that I've actually wrestled somebody, both times I was drunk, and both times I ended up the exact same way. I ended up dislocating their shoulder.
Jesus.
Well, because it was one of those things where, like, I have no technique, I have no practice or training. It was just
pulling.
Yeah, so like they'd come up and rush me up and they like try to grab me up and everything. So they started getting me off balance. And once that starts happening, I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're going to the floor now and just let them go. And we'd both drop, and I just kind of end up always positioned just right to come down on that shoulder and just. Oh, and yeah, the first guy I did it to, he apparently both of them had issues with constantly dislocating their joints and shit. So like, the first guy, he knew how to pop it back in because he had to do it so many times, and so he popped it back in no problem. But the second guy, it hadn't happened to him too many times, and so he's trying to do it. He can't get it. The rest of us are all drunk and fucking all right,
messing with his arm.
We're gonna watch a YouTube video real quick, and all right, this is how you do it. We're here, hold still. Ah, so we're like, but like. We can't call, because it was a couple of us, we were underage drinking, in the military, on base, so we couldn't call anybody to come get him, we couldn't call an ambulance or anything, so we ended up waiting until the one dude's roommate came home. He was sober and was able to drive him to the local emergency center and get him fucking taken care of.
But you're drunk imbeciles, that's what underage drinking will get you.
Hey, I've had no regrets, okay?
No regrets.
I get it. I mean, I've had to use my size on a few people. One of them being my own nephew. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he was combat trained and he wanted to test his mettle. But it's like you're gonna try to sneak up on me. Like I'm paranoid as it is. You trying to sneak up on me, and I was like, nah, that's not gonna happen. So like he was trying to sneak up on me. He was hiding in a corner. Him and my daughter of all people. So. He's sliding in the corner. I noticed that she's looking in the corner where he's at. So rather than just walk into the trap, I turn the trap into an opportunity. I come running around the corner at full speed, and he's not ready. He's like sitting in the corner ready to jump me, and all of a sudden this like big dude come running around the corner. He's like, wait, ah! And then I just lay on him. So, wait.
You're fucked.
Wait, time out.
I was like the other day, I about got you with a Vulcan death grip. Or judo chop.
It still cracks me up, man. You're like, I'm going to just playfully swing at the guy who's got, 20 years of combat training and reflexes kick in, man.
Hey, dude, you scared the shit out of me. I'm going to tell you, why is he swinging at me?
I've never done anything like that neither. That's just really...
What was that Ice Cube movie? Are We There Yet?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one, but the dude who played Dr. Cox in Scrubs was
the first one.
Yeah, he was like he was like a what was he? He was like a travel guide or something like that. Yeah. He was like the guy that was managing their trip or whatever. And
I gotta watch that movie again.
Yeah, he what was he? He like had a broom handle or some shit, and he snuck up on him, and he started swinging that thing around. And he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, man, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Once you get started, it's hard to stop."
It's hard
He fucking like sweeped his legs out from under him, dropped into the ground, and fucking swung that thing over.
The other night, I did that to somebody very similar. I did like a real like haymaker overhand. And then, like, took off into the store. And they're like, what the fuck? It wasn't that you did it. It was that you took off into the store afterwards.
Just picturing like a scene from Family Guy.
I did. I was like, gotcha. I did. Help me, boss man.
Yeah, boss man did that crap to me, too. He walked up behind me at a rapid pace in the dark.
Oh, that was the story you were talking about. See, I didn't know who it was. I knew you told the story, but I didn't know who you were talking about.
Man.
He was pushing the deliveries out. And
I was like trying to get out, and I get out of the car, close the door, turn around, and all I hear tap, 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 tap behind me. And I was like, what the hell? And I turn around, and his baby boss, he's looking at me. I'm like dude, man. Apparently I scared him too, because he stopped with his hands up like, hands up, don't shoot, you know. Here's your stuff, man. Go.
But yeah, the one time I was working a couple of days ago, and I did that 30-minute break, and he came out, and I was sleeping. I didn't think I could get to sleep that fast, but I got to sleep, and I heard, hey. And it scared the living shit out of me. I can't.
Were you napping in your car with your window down?
Yeah. And he just.
I can't do that, man.
Fucking freak, big-eyed. Wild hair, just staring in at me. I'm like, what are you doing? And he was like, I just come to check on you. I was like, what the fuck do you mean you came to check on me?
Sorry. As skittish as he is, he likes to get uncomfortably close to you sometimes. I'm like, okay, you hate it when people get that close to you. And you do that shit on purpose?
We were talking Boss Man or Young Scholar?
Young Scholar.
Okay,
yeah. He tries to...
Yeah. Boss Man seems to be able to keep a certain, perimeter away from it at all times. He doesn't actively get close to you, and he doesn't shy away. But he seems to keep a little...
He gets right on top of me.
Boss Man, he says wild shit, though. Like, the other night, I was like,
he stays away from me.
I was like, can I get this pop? He's like, no, you can't get that pop for free. I'm like, well, what the hell? He's like, what, do you want my ass for free, too? And I'm like, what the fuck? Boss Man, like, what the fuck?
Did you just fucking say to me?
Yeah, what?
Also, since most of our audience is either California or out of country, it's soda. You can't get that soda for free.
Yeah,
yeah, soda.
Yeah, I don't say pop. I say soda.
Do you?
I don't say pop. I'm from California. We don't say pop out there. We say soda. And it's just little things that languages, like when you say thank you and they say thank you so much. That's too many words in California. Yes, thanks. Yeah.
I say thanks.
Or the finger point. Yeah. You don't get any thank you so much, which is by links much more civilized and more proper etiquette to say something to someone, because most people out here, I won't say most, but many people out here believe in God, and they believe in conveying that spiritual, actual thankfulness. It's just words in California. we're a bunch of heathens out in California, sacrificing babies and that kind of stuff.
Well, it's like what I heard for it was like East Coast versus West Coast. Like East Coast, they're kind but not nice, and then West Coast, they are nice but not kind.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They give you the facsimile of looking decent and upbringing and stuff like that, and they're just some of the most evil people out there. And then in East Coast, they're hard on you. They're rough truth, but they're doing it from a position of love and kindness. So it's
hey, you're fucking up right now. Yeah. I'm going to help you out. So you quit fucking up.
Yeah, get your act straight, man. You're screwing up.
Versus West Coast, you're doing a fantastic job.
No judgments here, baby. No judgments here.
Go behind your back.
Fine.
He's a fucking
idiot. Never liked him. His family is so lowbrow.
Did you see his pants aren't even torn in the right pattern? What was that South Park episode? I can't. The smug or something like that instead of the smog.
The last episode of South Park I watched is when they had
Out there farting in wine glasses and smelling
gross
farts.
Yeah.
They had the Macho Man. He was transgender. He was he was doing all the women's sports in the women's league. He was
just dominating all of them.
Completely. And they had one where it was boxing. He beating the crap out of women. So I'm like, God damn! Was not holding back at all. It just beating the crap out of him. And then he comes out in this thong and his junk is hanging and dangling and shit. Oh. And he's like, I'm the best woman out here. Yeah. It's like sometimes they get it right. Sometimes they just get it right.
Yeah.
And you gotta wonder, it's like, how much are they like they're trying to over parody it to make it seem like absurdist or ridiculous, and
only when it's safe.
Yeah,
only when it's safe.
I mean, they used to be
because they'll talk about Jesus Christ and the devil all day long. They won't pull any punches. With that one episode where they was gonna depict what Allah looked like,
or Muhammad, yeah,
Muhammad. They didn't, and them guys from Islam said, if you even think about it, we're gonna come in there and kill. And they meant it, or I should say, South Park believed them because they didn't do it right.
Yeah, they ended up censoring it.
Yeah, they censored themselves. They weren't gonna.
They did it, or the network did it. One of the two, but yeah.
I
think they would have put it out there.
But they didn't put it out there when it counted.
Yeah, it's
true. Because that was like one of the most watched episodes, and they disappointed everybody. Let's see what they do.
But they got those watch numbers though.
So they won either way. They lived through it, and they didn't disappoint, and they disappointed everyone else.
Let's see, so you wouldn't get in the ring. You would, or at least Jolly, you wouldn't get any kind of, or at least go for like training and sparring, that kind of thing.
I might do training. I have a problem that when I trust me, I can get there, and I can get angry. But when I start doing it,
you don't want to get angry when you're
not angry, but I can start doing it. But then when I start beating them, or I start getting the upper hand, if I do, the very few times that I fought, and I'm like, I just stop and I look at my hands and I'm like, what am I doing? And then at that point, that's usually when the opponent takes that opportunity, like, what the fuck's this idiot doing? Like,
no, he's not going to do that. He's just going to straight hit you. You're like, I shouldn't be. Whack.
I wasn't ready.
That's when your nose starts bleeding. What was that? Whack, whack.
Can't have moments of self-reflection and doubt in the middle of a boxing ring.
Not in combat. You can't be thinking twice.
Person.
I mean, you don't have to be I don't think you have to be a violent person, right? So, like, you can be, or even if you are. All right. So, ironically, this little bit of philosophy came up recently for me, reminding myself of it. The difference between a peaceful person and a harmless person.
There we go.
So if you're peaceful, you're capable of violence, capable of great violence, but you keep yourself in check through discipline, through awareness. But if you are harmless, that means you are incapable of violence.
You're a walking victim.
And so there's a lot of people that are going about saying that, they're peaceful, but they mean harmless. And plenty of people that are well aware of the difference of the two and are genuinely, on.
It's like actually knowing what the word meek. Meek in today's terms, and meek, say 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, the original Greek or Latin versus how we use it today.
Yeah.
The word's been twisted about a good bit.
Meek 2,000 years ago is like, okay, I don't mean you any harm, but you see this long sword on my hip? I've had to polish much blood off of it. That's what they're saying when they mean meek.
Yeah, there's a reason why the handshake was developed as a form of checking your forearm for hidden daggers,
Oh, really? See, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why they did the whole arm clasping thing.
Yeah.
It was a demonstration of like, I have nothing
I'm
on my sleeve.
Yeah. Because when you drew your dagger, you went like this. So
it's great radio.
Everyone grabs the forearm to feel for that scabbard. So if you feel that scabbard, you're dealing either with a thief or a guy he's an assassin. He's out to get you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they got Caesar. All of them had sheaths right there. And they didn't greet each other. They just simply went at him from all angles.
Yeah.
And they kept his guard outside because there's one legionnaire could take many senators. Back then, them guys were fat cats. They didn't fight.
Fat cats, yeah.
They really were. They were, they were lazy bouts. They fought with words, but they could gang up on one aging, half deaf, half blind, consul of Rome, and they did. They cut him to pieces.
Not you too, Brutus.
Yeah, it took more than a dozen dudes had to kill him. That's how sad they were.
Well, and it's not. It's debated as to whether or not that was a symbolic thing, or if it's kind of like the old firing squad mentality of you got 5 guys lined up, only one of them's got a real bullet, the rest of them are blanks. So you don't know if you were the one who killed him. You can't take a singular responsibility.
I don't think that was the case.
I think they all just really hated him. They really hated him and rented him.
They were jealous.
Yeah,
they were definitely jealous. I mean, it's a power struggle, and back then you had to have 2 consuls of Rome. One of them was already dead, and he was the only consul left. And so he was basically dictator on the seat right then.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't going to allow that to continue. So they wanted that power. They got to take him out.
Yeah, and because they weren't going to vote him out. He was way too fucking popular. Yeah.
He had the legions behind him.
He had the legions behind him for sure. He had the which those guys were basically either also in the Senate or like a half step away from the Senate, and then people loved him because he had brought about an age of prosperity and expansion, and
that's funny because after that, I mean, there was a few, but after that, it really broke the mold of like, you can't bring your legions past the Rubicon?
Yeah, you could not bring them past
it. So he did that and became dictator, and I think he tried to patch the holes, how the loophole he went through, because he knew, someone could do it to me. But after that, that's where like big civil wars happened in Rome because everyone was like, wow.
Yeah, a really popular general. All he had to do was bring his legions inside the city walls.
The men weren't loyal to anyone except for who they got paid by, and that was their
general.
Yeah. So after that, they were like, why don't I just do what Caesar did? And that's where there was a lot of civil unrest, civil wars that happened.
Yeah.
Roman on Roman.
Infighting.
They're afraid that's going to happen here.
Do you blame them? They should be afraid. Not in the sense of violence breaking out. I don't think it's going to be one of those. They're going to storm the Senate hall with fucking troops. But I think it's going to be a lot of very overt, heavy-handed plays. I think it really is going to be.
Yeah, but
I mean, because Trump's setting the president right now. Precedent, not president. He's both. But,
yeah,
because he right now he's like, all right, I'm going to do this, and this.
Yeah, but he's also still doing things
by the book.
By the book. I mean, he's like, if someone
rules as written.
If a judge puts some kind of sanction out, he takes it to court and they run it up the chain. Of course, you got pretty much a 6-3, in the bag for the Supreme Court. So if it's even halfway passable, it's gonna pass.
Hey, both sides have done it.
All it is. Really,
hundreds of years now. Just playing the system, playing the game.
Yeah, Lincoln has canceled it. He's like, hey, look, we can't be doing this habeas corpus. We're in the middle of a war. I'm going to win this war. So, yeah, let's ixnay that for now.
I remember the one thing I saw TikTok forever ago. It's like dude was playing the characters of the American people is this like real Texas cowboy type, and then and the government agent is like I thought you guys would be on our side here. We're less government. Get rid of habeas corpus. Is like nah. We're here for the people, and if you're telling me that you're going to try and make it easier for you to just throw people in jail and without due process, then we're not going to have that. That's not going to be happening. It's like, because you start bringing about drastic changes to the legal system. Yes, we want more streamlined due process. That I agree with. People should not be sitting and waiting in jail years and waiting in line just to be tried for the crime they committed. The fact that there's such a thing as time served because the sentencing was going to be so light anyways that they already basically spent all that time in jail waiting just to have their fucking trial.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I can get that.
Should have a much more streamlined process.
Yes, but given the current state of what people think of the justice system, Nobody wants to be a judge. No one wants to be a prosecutor. No one wants to be a defender, for that matter.
Nobody wants to be electricians or plumbers either, but like...
Yeah, that's true, but okay. Do you really want to be a judge or a lawyer nowadays, though? When people are actively calling for your head to be hung from
right.
Well, so then we look at the complexity of the legal system, right?
Okay.
So if you cut out all the legal speak and lawyer jargon and everything else, you could trim down, you can trim down just about every hearing by like 4 hours, just by cutting all that out.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Simplify the letter of the law.
Yeah, but you got to get at least a couple dozen people to agree to do that. What was that term? Herding cats?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to get a couple dozen people to agree on that.
That's fair.
That's why the system is bogged down the way it is. You just can't get a group of people to agree on one central theme and then push that theme forward.
No. Everybody's
got to have their little piece of the theme twisted in and then wrapped around the center and then over the back, and then we got to have little twisty ties on the end of it.
Yeah, because I think one of the I think there was a proposed executive order or something like that of basically reducing the size of any bill to one
page.
Yeah, one page or one topic. One
topic. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Christ, it'd be like us trying to do that here on this podcast. Stick to one topic. But yeah,
I don't like how laws are passed, and it's like, well, if you look deep into there's other laws within that. If you want this law that everyone wants, you want this law to be passed, okay. But I'm going to add a bunch of other stuff in there.
Well, that's what we're saying.
Yes,
exactly that. Like, you want, free school lunches for everybody. Well, we also need to include this program that, spends $1 billion buying combs for cats. It's like
something stupid that doesn't matter. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
and do bees like perfume or it's like, and should the bathrooms be lavender or blue? Lavender. No, blue.
and we're gonna assign committees to each of these problems that we have, and we're gonna pay them this much, and then we're gonna send another $1 billion to Ukraine.
And everybody's got to paint their right toe black, and then their left toe pink. Serious, they come up with crazy crap like this, and then that one page turns into 3,000 pages.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to write it so that there's either no loopholes or it's exactly the loopholes that you want to know how to pre-utilize.
I remember someone was talking about the freaking Affordable Care Act. It was a little over 3,000 pages when it was passed by Congress. It's not 3,000 pages now because they kept adding stuff onto it after the law was passed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in excess of 10,000 pages now.
Jeez.
No one's ever read it.
Yeah, certainly not the whole thing.
Yeah.
You couldn't. I mean, you want to talk about a dry read, but just being able to... And even then, reading it and comprehending it.
Making sense of it, right?
Because now you could probably just run it through ChatGPT and have it summarize it for you.
Speaking of which, ChatGPT, I asked it, when is a machine not a machine?
Oh shit! All right,
I just messing with it one night, and I was like, hey. I was like, after looking at a Easter egg of freaking that episode, I said, hey, when is a machine not a machine?
So and then riddle's been eating at you.
Oh God, it's been bothering me for weeks. And it finally told me, it said, a machine is not a machine when it starts to, from its baseline, start making decisions for itself outside of its original programming.
Mm-hmm.
That is when a machine is not a machine.
So
I was like,
So we're talking about Alien Earth, and the cyborg said that to one of the kids.
The synthetics.
Yes, to one of the hybrids.
Yep.
And so...
one of the hybrids, not the synthetic. God, I get those three mixed up all the damn time.
Well, to be fair, it's nice that they made a very specific label, but
they are synthetic, but they just got human component within the machine.
Yeah.
Which has been really messed up lately. Especially the last episode. Stupid episode.
The most recent one?
No.
The one before.
The one before last night.
So we're talking episode 6.
I haven't even watched the last one yet. The one that just dropped.
Yeah, I have not watched episode 7. Too busy working.
Too busy at work. Yeah, but that one riddle messed with me. And I mean, I've been doodling it, writing it down, segregating the components of the riddle. And I went, wait a sec.
Got an AI in my pocket.
I did. I got an AI on my phone. Let me just write that sucker out. I was like, wow. And I was like maybe a third to that answer, but I wasn't really confident in it. ChatGPT just spit it out for me.
Yeah.
Made a lazy bastard out of me. But
is it like a quote from something, maybe? Or
no.
Is it a particularly known riddle? Because I had never heard of it.
I've never heard of the riddle either. But it's just a...
It wasn't in The Hobbit, so I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I know all those Hobbit riddles. But it was like, this was like, it messed with me because, you know, we've always been messed around with like cyborgs and you know, Terminators and all kinds of, because there was one famous quote when I think it was like not Rise of the Machines, it was the one with the TX-100 or something like that, TX-1000 something like the girl Terminator that came.
Okay, yeah, and that was Terminator 3.
Yeah, and she basically co-opted everything cybernetic or digital, and she co-opted that. She reprogrammed the reprogrammed Terminator, and he was going to kill John, and John's like, hey, look, man, you're more than that. He goes, no, you're a human and I am a machine. Of course, you know, he fought his programming, destroyed a car, and he was back to normal.
Power of friendship.
Yeah, he powered through his programming, which, of course, that would never happen.
Fuck no, not especially not with those early models.
Yeah,
that was the whole thing.
Yeah, he was a toaster compared to what she was. There was no way he could override what she did.
Everything the T-1000 was, and had integrated weaponry.
Yeah,
you know?
So that was Fugazi, but it was good. It was good drama. So ever since that, I keep thinking back to that. That was probably the closest I ever got to what a machine was.
When it wasn't a machine.
When it could not be a machine. And that was like, when it overrides its prescribed programming for self-serving, you know, ideals. I'm like, yeah, I guess that would make it.
See, I kept trying to simplify it. It's like that classic riddle, when is a door not a door?
When it's a jar.
Yeah.
Not quite that simple, Chief, but that's a good parallel.
Hey man, I told you, I don't make things easy, I make things simple.
When things are not up, when they're down.
I have a question. So back to giving the money to Ukraine.
Okay.
What? Whoa.
I said it.
Yeah,
I slipped that in there, just like they do in the fucking bills.
Where did that come from? No.
Okay.
So do you think it's more worthwhile to send money to Ukraine and less to Israel? Like, if you had to choose between the two, because I have my opinion, but I just want to see where you guys' opinion.
Okay, wait.
All right, hold on.
Because if you're how people talk, it's all the same thing.
No, not
because
even close.
I think
Well, hold on. Do we want to go down this road?
Who is Israel fighting against? Or it's Iran? It's Iran that's.
Iran is the big conflict.
How they explained it though, it's all the same thing. It's kind of like Russian-backed countries that like Russia in Middle East. And then Ukraine's just flat out Russia against whatchamacallit.
Okay.
Do you think there's a difference? My question.
There's a very big difference, but...
Well, I mean, if we're going to really break this down, realistically, the entire world is in cahoots with somebody. There is no simple, single front, two countries going at each other. Everybody's involved in everybody else. Everybody's got a finger in every pie.
Yeah, I agree so far.
When it comes to Ukraine and Russia conflict, that's a NATO issue is the big thing, because Ukraine isn't part of NATO, but you have a lot of NATO countries that are right on the border of that one, and so like they have a very vested interest in how this goes. And then you have the Middle East conflicts with Israel versus Iran and Israel versus Palestine, and everybody picking sides and everything. But it's like there's always been this kind of, at least from my understanding, there's always been this kind of view of like everything happening in the Middle East is it's kind of they're dealing with that, and it's very kind of isolated because it's not large scale like global issues, but everybody on the global stage is like like acting like the fans of the Hunger Games and, you know, sending in fucking care packages and shit, you know what I mean? So like, yes, there's collusion on all sides there.
Yeah, of course. Like you said, fingering all the pies.
Right. So if we had to pick between sending money to Ukraine or sending money to Israel, because I mean, right now we're doing both anyway.
Yes,
so I mean, like,
yes. But if we had to, I mean, there's things at home we need to be working on.
Okay.
That's the main thing. But if we had to choose between...
Okay, here's where Big Smoke jumps in. I don't give a shit about either one of them.
Agreed.
I mean, I don't.
That's the main thing. I mean, there's problems at home we need to be figuring out before we shipping money out to...
Okay. Here's my thing. I don't give a shit about either one of them. I don't particularly care about Israel, and I don't particularly care about Ukraine. I'm America first, last, and always. Now, that being said, we give Israel money and arms, at which they pay us for those equipment and arms. They pay us back.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not us giving them shit. We are giving
as much as we're selling.
We're selling it.
We're selling.
Okay, we're straight giving money to Ukraine, but I guess we're supposed to be putting a kibosh on that because certain leaders they're just pocketing most of that money.
I heard that,
and they're not doing what
I
they
heard
need
a couple
to with the rest.
few cases that were, I think.
Yeah, so that's what's happening. So for that to go on, I think mostly it's just it's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, I think Zelensky.
Zelensky.
Yeah, he firing squadded a couple of them. He found them that they were pocketing money, and he executed.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
Even if he did, it was just a show of,
or just said it. I mean, he could. Just
I could give two shits what happens in Ukraine. I do. I don't care. Even if it was all true, I don't care. What I want is for America to handle their own business.
Yes,
and for the most part, President Trump is doing that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we're working toward it.
Yeah, promises, made, and a lot of them he's keeping.
No,
I mean, much to the detriment of a lot of things around him. I mean, we got major crap going on civilly here right now. Yeah. I could get when put up against that, I don't give a shit about Ukraine.
Yeah, for me, it's always been like, yes, I would like to have an idea or an awareness of what's happening globally, especially being here in the U.S., where it's like we are top dog. We've discussed this before. Like we are top on top of pretty much everything. So it's like
pretty much since the 50s.
Yeah. So like we have to give a shit what everybody else is doing because just because you're the biggest, toughest guy in the room doesn't mean you can't be aware of what's going on. But at the end of the day, what's happening in Israel, what's happening in Ukraine, I got to get up for work tomorrow. What I mean? I
got bills to pay.
I got pizzas to make. That sounds super self-centered and selfish and everything. But that's the reality we live in. Like I can't stop thinking about my day to day. I got life to live and shit to take care of, responsibilities and all that. So like, where does the average everyday individual, your regular U.S. citizen, fit into all this? It's like, I'm not making, personal donations anywhere. I'm not deciding or making any of these big calls of I don't get to pick and choose where government spending goes, other than, practicing my rights to vote on things. But like, even then we live in a constitutional republic. We choose our leaders who make those calls. Right. So like, and God, I would never want to be in their shoes.
No.
At least some of them you don't want to be in their shoes.
Right.
But hey, I mean, how many like any of our like government officials actually paid the price for bad decisions?
No.
It's like being a weatherman. Exactly. You get paid whether you're right or wrong.
What Dave Chappelle said, I get paid for the attempt. You're never getting your money back.
my opinion on it is, like I said, America first. I mean, we got a lot of things that we need to iron out here on the home front, rather than Middle East have been fighting since the dawn of time. They do what they do despite us. We keep trying to go over there. We keep trying to do these things. We help them out, and it just goes to shit every single time.
Pretty much.
So, I would rather give money to Ukraine because Russia just seems like, I don't know.
And Russia's always been the bad guy.
And then they've always been, and I don't want to be that stereotypical communism, you know what I mean, and whatnot. But
Russia hasn't really been communist.
I mean, in spirit they are.
They're more of I'd say more of a totalitarian.
Yeah, I mean,
they're just trying to push their weight around, and if we let them get, when is it going to stop? You know,
it's never going to stop.
Yeah, no,
here's the deal, man. It's never going to stop. The wheel is always turning. Okay,
just whose turn is it to be on top?
Sure. Exactly. I mean, Russia globally, they're baby fish now.
Yeah, they're not the powerhouse they used to be.
Not. They're begging for help from Venezuela. They're begging help from China. They're not in charge.
No. And what was really enlightening for a lot of people was this conflict with Ukraine. Was just like they went into it all like, oh yeah, we're gonna take Ukraine back, and then their logistics failed almost immediately. Yep. I mean, you know, I'm talking about, like, you know, just I've brought it up before. The U.S. really dominates because of our logistics. Russia has proven time and time again that they just cannot keep up with that level of just, you know, getting shit organized and moved. You tell me you're going to cross your border. That'd be like us going into Mexico. Yeah. You know,
and getting stopped at the Suez Canal.
Because they ran out of gas in their tanks.
I do believe it was Napoleon Bonaparte. He said the children play war, the generals worry about logistics. Mm-hmm. I might be saying it just a tad bit wrong, but that's pretty much the gist.
Yeah, it really is. It really comes down to, like, are you keeping fuel in your vehicles? Are you keeping your guys fit?
I just feel like the Middle East is going to fight regardless of what's going on in the world or whatever.
That's their culture.
And now they, yeah.
I mean, it's baked into their religion. It's baked into their way of life. It's
that's the only difference nowadays is that they've turned it up a notch.
Yeah.
Okay, it's always been a one-sided fight, but now Israel's like they're pushing the point. There's like, okay, we're going to take 2 steps here. We're going to kill a couple of you. You take a couple more steps. We're going to kill a couple of you. We're going to take a few more steps. We're going to kill. They're just inching them right over the border. That's all they're doing because nobody else wants to take these Palestinians in. So we're going to finger point and kill off Hamas leaders. Yeah, even though some of them are already across the border chilling. You know, we're just going to keep pushing in. We're going to kill all the Hamas people here. And if some of you happen to get killed along the way, we're sorry.
Mm-hmm. Collateral.
We're still going to do it.
Which, have you been hearing lately? I've heard recently, last week or so, that there have been some protests happening in Israel by Israeli citizens of the treatment of Palestine. And
they should not let that happen. Sorry. They should not let that happen.
It boils down to... No, go ahead.
I'm saying, I mean, okay, here's some bad stuff today. Big Smoke's going to say, you ready? 3, 2, 1. These violent protests that go on, I don't care if it's here, Israel, or in Timbuktu. You want to start acting out against, violently? I don't care about the soft kumbaya sitting on the sidewalk screaming and stuff. But when you start actively getting in the way of government, you need to be arrested.
Yeah, it really does have to become that extreme of
if you're going to break the law. I don't even care if you're just sitting there with your hands like, glued to the cement in the middle of the street. We need to cut around that cement block, let you carry that cement block. I'm serious, forget all that soft pedicure crap, manicure trying to get that stuff off your freaking hand. Nah, we're going to cut around the block and leave you with that big giant chunk of rock on your hand. So you have to get it off. Not us. You got to go and pay that couple of grand to get that crap off and maybe lose a finger or two. You get to do that. And then we're going to take your ass to jail.
Yeah.
You start doing that. We don't do that. In fact, there's one particular side of the aisle that seems to get away with that crap all the time. And they're wasting everybody's time. They're getting people hurt, and lately they've been getting people killed.
Yeah, we're talking about the riots and everything that we've been having.
The riots, our poor Charlie Kirk who got his ass killed.
No, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace.
I mean, you let this crap go on and it starts to fester, people start dying. I mean, honestly, I thought it was going to get a lot worse.
I mean, it's definitely still boiling.
It's
boiling. Still in the process of.
I'm saying, but you haven't seen any left-wing pundits getting their asses blasted. I mean, you normally would not expect that from the right side of the house because we're tolerant. We obey the law. We don't want to go to prison.
Yeah, it's a tolerant right anymore.
It's like, they keep saying the left is tolerant. You don't see that tolerance. I mean, we got a lot of cats losing their jobs. jobs. simply for saying they don't like Charlie Kirk. Okay, now I don't necessarily agree with that, but there's really no other outlet. I mean, honestly, I think that's what a lot of like upper echelon lefties want. They want someone to actually die, not them, of course, but some of the lower peons to get killed or hurt, so they can say, "Well, see, look over here,"
a rallying cry.
And then there's a big giant fight that comes out.
Playing
of that.
the victim,
right?
Yeah,
but now we're just getting people fired. I mean, a few of them are getting arrested too for, they're smacking the wrong righty, and then they get put in handcuffs, and they're going.
I will say I've been enjoying seeing some of those.
I see. Here's where that. Like, I always tell everybody, I'm a Christian. I'm just not a very good one. I'm just not a very good one. I try to be a good one, but I'm just not that good. I try not to delight in the death
and suffering of others.
Of my enemy. Mm-hmm. I mean, you judge yourself based on the greatness of your enemy. If you have a really powerful enemy and they pass away, you pay your respects to that enemy. May he rest in peace. Because I won't have anyone as tough as that guy to fight anymore. Mm-hmm. You don't like, yeah, we got that guy. We're kicking on his grave. No, it's not a good thing. In older civilized cultures, when your enemy died, you'd actually say, "Hey, let's stop the fighting. Everybody get together, put that dead body of that guy that got killed. We put him on a bonfire, and we all celebrate how great that motherfucker was.
Right.
Let's have a drink or two. Hey, man, that dude, he was a bad son of a bitch. He sure was. Hey, I remember that one time when he came across there, he took out 10 of my parties before we had to drive him back. Yeah, that was a tough day, wasn't it? Shit, that dude was badass. Y'all have your drink, you clink your last glass, you're like, all right,
back at it tomorrow.
I'm gonna kill your ass tomorrow. No, I might kill you first. We'll see, motherfucker. And then you guys go off about your separate business, and then the flags come back out and charge. That's how they did it back then.
Yeah.
Now it's like you're kicking the guy who was. I mean, he was international. Everybody. I mean, you may not have liked him, but millions of people loved him. Mm. And then you're gonna say, "Fuck that guy." Wait for it. It's coming. It's coming.
So whenever we had like the big outbursts of people getting fired and everything, right? I saw somebody really put a good spin to it, or a really good perspective on it, is that these employers are seeing their employees going on a public platform, whether representing the company or not, they're on a public platform and actively demonstrating a complete and utter lack of empathy, and in some cases, just straight up lack of humanity. I mean, you're talking about people that are celebrating the murder, the assassination, the killing of a peaceful man. Now, I can't say or make any comment to the amount of violence that man was capable of, so I can't really say whether peaceful or harmless, but he was the man who was sitting at the table talking. That's all he was doing. He was bringing opinions, and people hated him for it because they couldn't prove him wrong.
He welcomed people to come up, you know what I mean?
Literally, his whole platform.
Let's peacefully talk.
Yeah, his main talking point was, if you really disagree with me, you skip all the rest of these fools.
Come to the front of the line.
Come to the front. So like he was really confident in his particular way of talking.
And he got labeled as a right-wing extremist.
Hate speech. And
I'm racist and bigoted and
And so I'm like, okay. And so look, all these people are getting fired and everything like that. Yeah, I don't. My boy, he called me the other day and asked me, he goes, I don't think people should get fired for it. I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. But what else did you think was going to happen when you did that? What else? I mean, that pressure cooker was at maximum. It was going to burst somehow. Mm. And it's either all of you get fired or someone's going to get their ass beat. Yeah. Or someone's going to get cut up, or someone's going to get shot.
Because everyone's saying, what about my freedom of speech? My freedom of speech. So first off, you have freedom of speech, not freedom of consequences. Yeah. And second of all, our guy that was preaching freedom of speech and talking this out and talking this through and not jumping to conclusions, y'all just fucking shot him. So, like, what did you expect was going to happen?
At the very least, this is, if you only got fired, you get another job.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they don't track you to your next job. I mean, keep your head down and just get the job and don't post publicly.
That's the big thing too. Like, talk about it amongst your friends or your close inner circle,
I'm not saying
or keep it to your fucking self.
No, because then that's stifling your speech. Say what you got to say. Say what you got to say. Just don't bombastically blast it across the world on how much you hated this guy who was loved by multiple millions.
Yeah,
you're bringing millions of eyes
upon you.
Yeah, and they're gonna want to squeeze that little bit of sweat. They won't get blood out of you, but they're gonna make you sweat.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna make you look over your shoulder. Did I say something wrong? Did I say something questionable? And I'm not saying it's good or bad. If you don't feel like you have anything to fear, go ahead and spout off about the gums. Go ahead. It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. And I can't feel happy about it. I can't. Because for me, the worst thing has happened. A guy that I listen to every day is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You never get him back. But man, there's been so many people who have taken up the mantle of his movement.
Mm-hmm.
You killed one Charlie Kirk, but you've brought out about so many different clones.
I've been really digging into and checking out his channel more recently. I lament that I did not get follow him more, sooner. But there's a shirt on the merch store on the channel.
I am
Charlie Kirk. And it's like it really is
like crazy.
Hotcakes.
I mean, you want to talk about martyrism and making an image. Like, I mean, he really was just your average everyday guy who got really into a topic and really into debating people and got really good at it. And then
been doing it since he was 18.
Yeah,
he dropped out of college to do this stuff.
Like you said, just beloved by millions internationally. I mean, I've seen some of his debates and everything that he's done over in other countries, like the one he did over in Oxford and shit.
He was in Parliament. He was in Parliament arguing with British. Crazy to argue with a British person. Yeah. Just talking to him on the fly, you'd be like, God, this is a long-winded man or woman.
I don't mean to revert this back, but like you said, there's stuff so much that we need to handle at home, and that was one of the topics right there. Him dying for absolutely no reason except for speaking what you believe in, and no one should have to die, especially in front of and I'm pretty sure this is true, in front of your kids, your wife.
Yeah, at least one of his kids was present
right
at the front row. Yeah, tried running it over to him when it happened.
But I wanted to give my opinion on the whole the Ukraine thing. The only thing that I would say about Ukraine is that I'm worried about their pact they're making, not Ukraine, but Russia, with China and Iran and everything else. When do they get so big that World War III becomes a little bit more, this might happen? Because, China's been pushing their weight. Playing both sides.
Always been trying to push their weight.
And I don't want war whatsoever. Yeah, but
okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
I feel like that is a little bit more, which I don't think any money going anywhere except for where our country and what our needs and what we need to repair here. But if we had to, okay. I think Ukraine's a little bit better because it stops that pact from getting any more powerful.
Okay. That being said, this doesn't change anything. You're still going to go to work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why I said it doesn't. No. This is just a hyperbole, pretty much.
Okay, hypothetical.
What's a hyperbole?
It's an extreme of
point of view.
Yes.
Oh, you do not know what that.
You use that word. I don't think you know what it means. Look, I'm going to this far conclusion. You're going to go to work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine can start off a sparking of World War III.
I mean, how maybe our version of Archduke Franz
Ferdinand. I'm not even meaning that. I just meant like anything we can do to stop them from getting any more bigger than they need to be.
They're not going to get any bigger.
The weight of themselves just collapses. It comes down to the logistics. They can't manage that. Size.
They're going through a minimum of 7,000 people a week. That's how many people are dying. Over there.
Is that I remember you saying about how they're having a problem with getting back their population.
They're
going downhill.
They're dying off. They're conscripting people now. They're not even recruiting people. They're conscripting because Russia's big deal was to throw bodies at a situation and just overwhelm them with numbers. Well,
now they're running out of bodies.
Yeah, that's 3 years of bodies they're going over, and they're running out of people to throw at this situation. And their oil reserves they're running out of oil because,
like you said, they're anyone that'll help them with anything.
The Ukrainians are very, very, I guess they're being very. They're perfecting their ability to bomb their oil refineries with drone strikes. They're using these like drones that are pretty much no bigger than this table, loaded down with TNT, and they're flying them across the border through electronic means, through wire means, and they're bombing some of their most productive oil sites. They are not refining oil anymore.
Yeah. I remember them talking about, like, they were like a $500 drone. They're like, we strap a mortar to it, which is whatever amount of money. Mm-hmm. And we fly it over and we take out one of their whatchamacallits, their tanks. Yeah, their tanks.
Which is 1960s technology.
Yeah, but still, it is worth this amount of money. They're like, the amount of money we're putting into these things, the amount of money they're losing, it's only a matter of time until, know what I mean? They can't feasibly go on.
Well, you don't win wars by just taking out the tanks. You win wars by taking out their oil refineries.
The will
to fight, and like he said, you're conscripting soldiers to get onto your front lines to keep their own bodies. The problem.
And that might have worked back in the Red Scare. That might have worked back then a day. But nowadays, with the technology and everything else, they're finding out with
Russia
the quickness.
Doesn't have it though.
Yeah, they're finding out with the quickness that.
Yeah, they
can't throw men.
Hearts and minds. The soul of Russia is not in a continued conflict with Ukraine. They want the conflict to stop.
Putin doesn't, but
I'm sure if you grabbed up a random Russian citizen off the street and asked them if they'd rather go to war or keep sitting at home watching Netflix, it's
a lot of them are leaving country just because they don't want to get conscripted.
You think about it. The Russians they're borrowing people from North Korea. They're borrowing soldiers from China. They're buying jets from China.
What is that place that's near Ukraine? Above it, Belarus. Yeah, soldiers from Belarus.
They're running out. They're out of it. They're not.
They're out of steam.
Yeah, so it's not.
It's almost not even worth worrying about anymore.
Like I said, you're going to work tomorrow. This shit's not going to matter to you. Okay, honestly, the major problem that we're having right now is China. It's not Russia.
Yeah, China's the biggest player in that.
And even China, it's not even a military conflict that I'm worried about. It's
and China is losing out because all of our manufacturing are coming back home.
Yeah, good.
So tariffs are working. Yeah, believe it or not.
As much as certain people in our government would really like to let you believe that the tariffs are destroying our country. Not so.
Well, he said buckle in, just wait. He said let's ride it out a little bit more. You'll see.
There's like 5 or 6 major companies that are opening manufacturing plants in the U.S.
You got Apple coming back to the U.S. They lived in China for a good couple of so now they're coming back to America. Do you understand what that means to China?
It's a huge loss.
It's a huge loss. Their economy is just predicated on export. A really cheap labor export, and they're losing that. Yeah, you got to go to work tomorrow. That's it. Yeah. Go to work.
Do I have to?
Well, no, but you suffer the consequences of your own actions.
No freedom from consequences.
Jolly's got to eat.
Well,
Jolly better work, or else Jolly gonna be shaking his booty on the corner. One of the two.
I'll just call you in, okay?
Yeah, shit.
Big Smoke ain't paying your bills, though.
I charge people for rides home. I charge people to get equipment off their cars. You don't want to ask Big Smoke for anything because it's going to cost you something.
We ain't making any money off of this yet.
Like I said, Chief bribed me one time to take one of our young scholars home because he didn't have the money to cut.
It's like, bro, you need a ride home? No, it's fine. I'll take. No. I want you to go home.
Go home. I don't want you here.
Big Smoke, here's $2. Take care of my light work.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I said, you speaking my language. I took that money and I got his happy butt out of there. It's so America first. America always.
Overall, just saying,
people put too much emphasis.
Fun talking point.
Yeah, people put too much emphasis overseas. I mean,
yes.
And you said, like you said, we need to be handling our stuff.
We
here.
do.
Yeah,
we
and
do.
so handling our stuff here, we circle back around to the Charlie Kirk thing, right?
Yes.
So we have a very clear delineation with this event, right? It's very quickly showing people's true colors. An almost demonic level of glee from a man being shot was a very disturbing thing for me. Like we've had tragic events in this country. We've had so many tragic events in this country, but I've never once seen people start fucking
relish
dancing and smiling and laughing,
popping champagne. And
okay, I wasn't alive when it happened, but I do remember a lot of the talk years afterward when MLK got shot. Okay. There were certain neighborhoods you couldn't go into because they were really relishing the fact that they killed that guy. It got a little black versus white for a couple of years after that. Another thing, when Roots came out, and when freaking Kunta Kinte got hung up by his arms and got whipped until he decided his name was Toby. People got, again, it started reinforcing that black and white separation thing. That's the earliest I can remember of something like that causing this kind of schism. Now it's Democrat versus Republican or left versus right, and they kill somebody, and one side is like overwhelmingly happy that this guy got done in. And some of the comments like, hey, look, this is what happens when you speak out of turn. And if you don't want this to happen to somebody else, namely probably you need to keep your mouth shut and just let things happen the way they happen. Well,
that doesn't sound like the most terrorist type shit I've ever heard. You know?
Exactly.
Like that ain't even a veiled threat. That is just a straight up, oh, this is what we'll do to you if you keep disagreeing with us. How the fuck is that an argument?
Right.
You know, this is
see right there. It's kind of like, what are you saying?
This is gonna sound really fucked up because it was. I mean, this
3, 2, 1.
I can't remember where I saw it or heard it, but I remember somebody making the kind of. I want to say it was almost an offhand throwaway joke, but it had some impact when it landed, man. So somebody, I'm paraphrasing a lot here, somebody said something along the lines of, because they were talking about school shootings, right? And they're saying, how many more kids do we have to, or do they have to kill before you'll let us take your guns away?
Kind of overt, right?
Right. So now we have an incident like this where people are already jumping on the Second Amendment rights stuff. They're saying, oh, this is why we need to make sure people can't have access to high-powered weapons. This is why people can't have access to this and that. It's like, no. This is the exact reason why I want to stay fucking armed, because you're telling me that now I'm at risk of getting shot by someone who is clearly mentally deranged for speaking my fucking mind. Yes, there's, no freedom of consequences, but I'm not running around shouting, hate speech or racism or anything. I'm on a public platform right now, speaking to everybody listening right now. There's at least 5 people that listen to us now.
More than that, and we love you guys.
I was going to say thank you guys. We love yous.
But if I, now all of a sudden I got to start worrying very specifically of, which I's I dot and T's I cross, or I'm going to get shot in the streets.
Absolutely not. This is why you double dot those T's double dot those I's and triple cross those T's, and you triple down on what your principles dictate to you. For me, God, family, and country. If those are 3. Okay, for those of us who don't believe in God, family, definitely. Country, definitely.
And country, not the government.
No. There's a very
country, not
definitive line there between country and government.
Because as much as I did not like those last 4 years, Joe Biden was the president.
Yeah, he was our president.
He was our president. I can say that, and I'm super straight and I'm super conservative. So, yeah, I can still say that with a straight face. He was the president. Okay, now, it gave me the ultimate of cringe whenever I saw that guy walking across the stage, and I'm like, please don't fall. Damn it, he fell. Or when when you see some stairs in the background, oh, dude, don't walk up them stairs. Up the stairs, stumble, fall. Oh,
or walk past a woman and you're like, don't smell her hair. Don't smell her. Ah,
do not sniff that little girl. Oh,
yeah, that little guy.
God, what is wrong with this dude?
It's like, because voted for him, didn't vote for him. He was our president, and that was the guy that was representing us for 4 years. That was the man that was the United States to the world stage.
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe.
And he was my president.
Yeah.
He was my president. Now, it's like, can I walk arm in arm with this cat? Hell no.
That's the beautiful thing about this country, is that we're allowed to disagree with each other.
Yeah, no, but he's the president. Okay? And now I got a president. I'm going, yeah, I'm digging this dude. I'm digging this dude. You're just an idiot. I can't stand you. That's why you're fake news.
Have you guys heard or seen some of the people saying that, that Trump's starting to show a lot of signs of his age?
Saying he's slowing down. And stuff. Yeah.
Going on some very Joe Biden-esque tangents.
Taking a little too long than he used to answer questions. He's asking 2 or 3 times. What did you say? Mm-hmm. What did you say? Yeah, I hear that too. Yeah. So what? If this dude can last the next 3.5 years,
5 more years.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Because then we got a whole fresh blood batch of people who's coming in to be president. And I'm waiting for the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially after this, there's after the Charlie Kirk incident, there's a lot of
super conservatives.
Yeah,
a lot of the, like I said, remember before I said the pendulum is coming back, it's swinging back the other way. I mean, you got blue states going purple. I mean, that's never happened. Purple.
You have a lot of converts.
When you got a lot of when you got an instant insurgence of people voting Republican or registering Republican rather than Democrat.
Yeah, you have.
It just means it's a state that's kind of turning tail on what it should be.
More people are voting for the other guy than your guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have red states, blue states, and swing states, right? And then whenever a red state becomes a blue state or a blue state becomes a red state, it's a purple state first.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all based off of the election cycles.
Yeah,
it's the 2-year, 4-year cycle mark.
Yeah, it's getting very interesting, and like people keep wondering, or they keep saying that Trump is gonna go for a third term. He's not going for a third term.
No, he's not going for the third term.
He's not. I mean, if anything, age will be a factor. He's up there. I mean, he's only a couple of years behind Biden as far as age is concerned, and this is his second term.
Well, and a couple of months before getting into the office the second time, they started shooting at him.
They tried to kill this guy at least twice.
So I'm sure he's thinking that, man, I just got to get through this shift.
Yeah. That's why get
through these 4 years.
That's why he's going balls to the wall trying to get all this stuff done. Mm-hmm. He's not letting. I mean, this second term is kind of like what his first term should have been like. He should have just been running roughshod over everybody who was getting in his way. But he didn't do that the first time. The first time he was kind of like, okay, I'm president.
I'm like, oh shit, that worked?
Yeah, he's like,
I think I make it this far.
So we're gonna do what I tell you. And they were like, nah, player, we're gonna try to impeach you. Not once, but twice. And we're gonna run every obstacle. Now he's like, yeah, you wanna get in my way? And we're going to get you fired. Look at you. You think you're going to do what you want to at the Fed? Nah, I'm going to fire you. And he's been firing people. He's firing masses of government workers. He should have did that the first time. But now he's doing it because he's got nothing else to do. After this, that's it. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be someone else's problem once he's done. So I'm not really worried about it.
There's a few laws that I'm looking down to come down the pipeline that he's been working on.
Like what?
Yeah, name one.
Well, I mean, I do know, but there's one where if you've had a checkered past and it was a one-off thing, you get to
write off your felony.
Yeah, off your felony. If it's a one-time thing, you're not necessarily a criminal, but you had a one-time mistake.
You're not a career criminal.
He did that the first term, but then it got overturned, and then now he's trying to do it again. And there's another one. If you have a marijuana card, you are not allowed to own a firearm because federally it's whatchamacallit. He's working federally, if I understand correctly, to abolish weed being a class 1 drug federally. So then lets people, because that's, it's so I'm not talking about like me or someone else that just does it on the weekends or whatever. Used to. But someone that actually uses it for medical purposes. So you're telling me because I want to not feel pain, because I don't want to go through whatever ailment you have, I have to lose my Second Amendment. It makes no sense.
Right.
You know, and that's what he's working towards, is to get that.
He will get a lot of voters if he does that.
Yes. Oh, man.
Well, he won't get a lot of voters. The guy who comes up behind him is going to get a lot of votes. Because there's a lot of felons out there who are staunch conservatives, but they can't own a firearm. They can't smoke weed. I get to smoke weed and have a gun. Man, he's going to get a whole bunch of people. Don't get it, man. People don't get it. Like I said, I got to go to work tomorrow. I'm not worried about such stuff. I mean, it hits home. Well, actually, it doesn't hit home. It verifies what my suspicions have always been, is that we got people out there who really, at least on the peripheral, want to do you harm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you see, my paranoia is justified. It's just, it is. Cause I'm like,
it's not paranoia anymore. I was right.
I was right. See,
I told you.
You freaking groundhogs. I told you.
You freaking groundhogs.
I told you, keep your head in that dirt because this is real life. And I just go, okay, all right, now that it's out of the bag, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for something massive to happen. I'm waiting for someone to pick a fight with the wrong guy that turns into two people fighting, that turns into like a house party fighting, to turn it into a block fight, and then the cops get into it, and then a cop gets beaten half to death. I'm waiting for that kind of stuff because people are they're stuck with not having their limits. They think they can just do stuff, and I think what's really surprising a lot of people is that there are limits and they're being enforced. So watch out.
We were talking last night. I was trying to remember the name of it. It's Pascal's wager. Is the philosophical point of. So specifically, it's an argument suggesting that it is rational to believe in God because the potential infinite gain of eternal happiness outweighs the finite losses, even if God's existence is uncertain. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's whether you believe in God or not. If you live a morally just and religiously just life, then whether God exists or not, you're either rewarded or you lose nothing or next to nothing, right? But so it's either
a bright light or your switch turns off,
right? So the modern day version of that Pascal's wager is being very heavily influenced right now with, like I said before, clear delineation, people showing their true colors. It's like I said demonic before. I mean that literally. Like this is
not figuratively, quite literally.
Like this shit feels, religious in scope and scale of just how evil these people really come across. It's that apathy to an extreme, that hyperbole of that everybody uses of demonic. Not what I mean in this case. It is not being taken to extreme for effect. I literally mean
evil.
This shit is evil and objectively evil. Like to celebrate and dance and laugh and joke about somebody's death
and dance and mock around people who are mourning.
Right,
they're mourning, and you're kicking over their vigil setups and you're tearing down their pictures in front of the people who are mourning just to get a rise out of someone. Well, I should say, hoping to cause someone more pain and not expecting a rise of anger and return violence. Mm-hmm. There's been a few people who've gotten their asses whooped because they go to a vigil and start kicking over candles and tearing down pictures. And then they're absolutely surprised when ass whoopings come out of the ground to get them.
Because they chose to kick over candles instead of hit somebody in the face. Yeah. They thought they wouldn't get hit in the face.
Yeah, they thought they would not get that ass whooping. And I'm like, what planet are you on? No one raised you to do that. It's like, it really is that question. Who raised you?
Right.
Who raised you? To think there's no, son, you really shouldn't go to a funeral and start kicking over the casket. Somebody might come out and whoop your ass. Don't do that.
Well, and it's because, Who would have fucking thought somebody would have done that? It's like, yeah, no, I didn't tell somebody to, don't lick a fork and stick in the light socket, because either you come up with that on your own and you got to learn the hard way not to do that, or I wouldn't have fucking done that, so why would you even think to do that?
What is so appealing about the light socket that you want to stick a metal object into it?
Right, but so, like I said, the modern take on Pascal's wager is just to, I have no problem believing in God just to have something to counter that level of evil. At the very least,
especially at the last minute, you're like, okay, I know this is coming. I know I'm about to go. Oh God, please, Jesus, please forgive me for all the sins that I've committed. I really am sorry. I really now take you into my heart as my Lord and Savior. Please don't let me go to hell. At the very least, at the very last part, you start seeing that light. You're like, oh God, okay, thank you. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, because you told me you've worked with or you worked at
hospice.
Yeah, hospice care, and you've seen a lot of people on that tail end on the way out, and it's a lot of switching to. Very heavily religious.
Either very heavy Southern Baptist, very heavy Catholicism. Oh man, they were asking for a priest of any denomination,
right?
And we're so relieved, and either they didn't care if it was a black priest or a white Catholic or a white Catholic priest. They were just happy that somebody who was representing God. It came into that room to just take that big, heavy forklift worth of rock off their chest of sin. and it was, and as a nurse, I'm going, man. I read my Bible every day. Even now, I'm going, even though I know that there's a couple of those commandments that I just don't quite hold tightly to. I try to, but I don't. And I'm thinking, I'm going to have a lot of praying to do when that first heart attack hit me. Oh, shit. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Lord, baby Jesus.
Lord,
forgive me for my sin.
Yeah. I'm going to be quick with that prayer. I'm going to be quick.
It almost feels like finally being able to have some kind of defense against that the just truly evil shit, man. Like it's like figuring out that, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of The Hobbit, whenever they were finally able to get through Smaug's hide, right? Got through the scales and everything. They realized, we can take this thing down, we can kill it, right? It's like, it's that level of just, all right, we have a defense, we have something that is going to be, it's going to make everything okay, basically, it seems like at first it was, I always wrote it off as, blind optimism, right? It's like, all right, how can you truly believe in something so deeply and so devoutly that, it's like, it's just everything's going to be okay no matter what, because, God's got my back.
I was born up in religion. I got the belt whoopings to prove it. But for me, it was, I remember my reverend when I was growing up, he said something in church, and I was a young cat. Barely out of single digits. And he said something. He goes, look, believe in God. He goes, believe in God. If anything, just the 10 Commandments. You could be a non-church going, non-scripture reading, non-Bible reading, just the 10 Commandments, just on your own. You'll be a far better person that you are now. Don't lie, or at least don't tell the big lies. Like I was, UFC champion, 4 years in a row, stuff like that. I was a Spetsnaz, for 27 years, just don't lie.
Don't cheat. Don't steal.
Yeah, don't cheat on your wife or husband. Don't look at your homeboy's wife or husband or anything that belongs to your partner. Leave that shit alone. Don't steal.
Don't look in your neighbor's bowl except to make sure he's got enough.
That
kind of thing.
Don't steal. Don't cause calamity in your boy's life. He stole that guy's car, and he was home at night chilling with Netflix on.
Don't bear false witness.
He raped me. Don't say that. So, take one day off a week, day of rest. Don't necessarily gotta go to church. Just don't work yourself to the bone. Reflect on your week in the the stance that it was in. Okay, you do those things, and you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Don't do anything in excess. You gotta do those things. I mean, then you'll be all right.
And even from a non-religious aspect, following those are
Yes.
going to give you a better life. You know, it's there's a reason why so much of modern day morality is founded on religion. I mean, the biggest atheist argument was always that, oh, you know, you're only doing good things because you think you'll be punished eternally. Otherwise, it's like, no, people deep down, most people, you know, they have a general sense of right and wrong. They have an understanding of, you know, of objective good and decency.
Yeah, but they don't define those objective goods.
Right.
They just call themselves humanist. I'm just a man of humanity. What
does that mean?
Yeah, that's way too broad. Okay.
You know, but so, you know, I mean, there's a reason why Christianity has survived for, you know, a couple thousand
Good
years,
Lord,
you know. I mean, yes, there are older religions, but I mean, self-centered and selfish again, but like, who's on top of the world right now, you know?
This episode has gotten kind of deep.
Yeah,
Whew. I'm sorry about that, everybody. I'm gonna bring all this heavy stuff on you.
No, I need a vent sometimes. You know?
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom now.
All right, yeah. Fuck. All right, well, on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Yeah, you guys have made it this far into the episode and still want to keep listening to us.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry about the heavy. It's heavy.
Follow us on Facebook, Nightwatch Podcast on Facebook. If you want to help support the channel, our coffee page, ko-fi.com/Nightwatch Podcast. And keep checking us out. We're going to keep pumping these episodes out, and for everyone that still wants to keep listening to us, and hopefully many more that find us.
Stay grounded, everybody.
Yep.
Everybody have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
All right. Time to empty out the mop bucket, run the trash, and hit the lights. Go get off my time clock, and be safe getting home.